Although NBA players make tons in salaries, they're always thinking about their retirement, what comes next basically. And what could be better for a retired basketball player than owning his own team in the league? So in today's video, we'll talk about Kevin Durant's business partner Rich Kleiman saying that he and the Nets superstar want to own an NBA team. First off, all about KD and his partner wanting to own an NBA team. After their first few years of extravagant spending, basketball players can seem to outrun the thought that what if their careers ends abruptly in the next game? What do they have in place for their life outside of the court? Kevin Durant, KD, is indeed the league's leading basketball player right now.
He's the tallest player on the floor here for Chicago. Jones on Durant, little turnaround is good.
He's undoubtedly making millions in annual salary and can afford a ridiculously luxurious lifestyle. However, it seems that thoughts of his future have been keeping him awake at night. Just recently, KD and his business partner revealed their plans of owning an NBA team one day. Rich Kleiman, Kevin's agent, was asked by Insider if the duo had any plans of owning a team in the league. He stated that they for sure had such a plan. He added that Kevin would have a number of opportunities to remain associated with the game, even after retirement. He can practically stick around the league for his whole life, switching from one organization to another and from one role to the other. He wished that he could be able to do that as well. He believed that the business the two have been building for some time now would allow for an opportunity to buy an NBA team one day. Rich believed that the fact that more and more former players were getting involved in the team ownership business was a good sign for them. Up next, the kind of ownership they want. NBA owners aren't all the same. Some like to keep their distance from operation-related stress and focus only on inflows and outflows. Others love maintaining a healthy presence in day-to-day running of the franchise. As far as Rich and KD are concerned, they want to be more like the latter type. Kleiman revealed that in an ideal situation, he and Kevin would be hands-on owners. He stated that on whatever level they get associated with an organization, the idea of being hands-on with it really appealed to the duo. He admitted that he loved the idea of being a CEO of a franchise. As for KD, he believed that the maestro would want to have a hand in the building from a player and operational viewpoint. He added that he would love to play his part in building the roster. However, the businessman added jokingly that setting up an NBA roster was probably the dream of half of the world right now. It's important to note here that Rich, to some extent, has had a taste of how it would feel to be an NBA owner thanks to the MLS Cup. He revealed that being at the Philadelphia Union semifinal game and seeing the crowd go berserk was a very exciting experience for him. He added that seeing your team become successful and knowing that you had a part in it was something that seemed very exciting to him. Moving on. What about the money? Firstly, the valuations of sports franchises all across the world have risen insanely. As per speculations, the only NBA franchise up for sale in the league, Phoenix Suns, may go as high as around $4 billion. Yep, that's a billion with a B, and it would be an NBA record. As far as the duo's financial situation is concerned, estimates reveal that Durant has individually earned $80 million in 2021, with around half of that coming from in-court earnings. He's now starting off his new 4-year extension contract with the Brooklyn Nets worth $196 million. But even such big paychecks are mere breadcrumbs for buying into the ownership of a franchise. However, KD's earnings aren't the only thing the duo has in their pockets. They are the founders and owners of the sports media and entertainment company 35V. They too operate a media network called Boardroom that has produced sports documentaries. One of their many projects is NYC Point Gods, which is a documentary about the basketball players raised in the city of New York. Apart from this, the duo also has investments in tech from the initial years. In a nutshell, while they have a lot of money and assets, they might not cut it when it comes to buying into an NBA team. However, they aren't looking to just go out and strike a deal tomorrow. The plan is for somewhere in the future. Rich himself admitted that they still have a long way to go. Up next, their motivation behind it. Apart from the reasons for maintaining an association with the game and the whole thrill of it, the duo finds their motivation in former NBA players. It's no secret that the number of players getting involved or wanting to get involved in the ownership is on the rise. For starters, Dwayne Wade and Grant Hill are two former players who own parts of the Utah Jazz and Atlanta Hawks respectively. In addition, there are players still active on the court that have made it known that they would own a part of an NBA franchise. One such as LeBron James, who revealed a couple of months back that he wanted to be an owner of the upcoming expansion team of Las Vegas.
It's the best fan base in the world, and I would love to bring a team here at some point.
Kleiman stated on the subject that D-Wade was already in Utah, so if LeBron were to get into Vegas, it would only open up the runway for Kevin to have the same kind of opportunity sooner or later. He also added that the two were doing their due diligence behind the scenes and had the right connections for this project. Now let's talk about other players who own sports teams. First off, LeBron James, Liverpool FC. Although an active player in the league by rules can't own a piece of an NBA franchise, that doesn't mean they can't own teams in other sports. So while LeBron fancies buying an NBA team someday in the future, he currently owns a small stake in one of the most popular Champions League clubs, Liverpool FC. The NBA's superstar reportedly teamed with the Fenway Sports Group back in 2011, after they purchased the team a year back. James got himself a deal for a minority stake in the football club and became the first player to make an investment in a big franchise during his prime playing years. He's been a part owner of Liverpool FC for more than a decade now and has a 2% stake in the club, which he bought for £4.7 million. Since then, the basketball player has gained shares in multiple enterprises of Fenway Sports Group. That includes NASCAR team Rouge Fenway Racing. He also still owns the minority share in Liverpool and is doing rather well from a financial point of view. Moving on, Michael Jordan, Charlotte Hornets. Of course, any list of NBA players would be incomplete without the great Michael Jordan.
On Russell, we're down to 2, now to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes! It is all over.
Not only was Jordan a king inside the court, but it also turns out he's a mogul outside as well. The athlete became not a minority, but a majority owner of Charlotte Hornets and Bobcats back then in 2006. He bought the share for around $275 million. Reportedly, he had a minority share in the organization way before that. However, when the former owner called it quits on the franchise, Jordan acquired his share as well, becoming the majority shareholder. As per sources, Jordan took up a hefty loan of $150 million to complete the deal. That might seem like an outrageous amount to take in debt, but considering that Forbes did a $750 million valuation of the team just recently, it seems Jordan got himself a great deal. Next up, Shaquille O'Neal, Sacramento Kings.
Be called Sacramento, the capital of California. This day is exciting day for me, exciting day for the ownership group.
Apart from Wade and Hill, Shaq is another former NBA player who owns part of a team in the league. O'Neal invested in the team back in 2013, along with a group that purchased the ownership from Aloofs. Reportedly, he doesn't have that large a stake and is the owner of only 2 to 4% of the team. However, his investment has brought him good returns considering that the team's valuation has risen from $534 million in 2013 to a whopping over $800 million now. Talking strictly about Shaq, the experts believe that the superstar made around $5 to $11 million from his share. Next up, Magic Johnson, LA Dodgers.
This guy was busy. Here you are, you're co-owner of the Dodgers, you're president of basketball ops of the Lakers. Anything else you got going on at the time?
My goodness.
I got enough in my life.
Magic is probably the most successful in business among all former NBA players who tried their luck at it. He was part of the group that purchased the LA Dodgers back in 2012. Reportedly, the franchise was sold for a record amount of around $2.5 billion at the time, and Magic invested only $50 million in the deal. However, despite his 2.3% minor stake in the team, he has been an active part of the organization and has played an important role in recruiting free agents for the team. He has the distinction of being the only basketballer to own a stake in a Major League Baseball team. That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on KD and his business partner wanting to own an NBA team? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.